Comparing decimals. We can use greater than, less than, and equal signs to compare numbers. Remember, the sign opens towards the larger number. Think of it like a hungry alligator mouth. It wants to eat the bigger number. So this sign is open towards the 7. It's showing that 7 is greater than 5, or 5 is less than 7. Let's try using greater than, less than, and equal signs to compare decimals. Thinking about where decimals go on a number line can help us compare. This number line is labeled with tenths, but we can easily think about it in hundredths as well. Tenths and hundredths are easy equivalent fractions and decimals. Let's place these decimals on the number line. The first one is 3/10, and that's easy because it's actually labeled on my number line. Here is 3/10. The next one is 67 hundredths. Now 67 hundredths isn't labeled on my number line, but 6/10 is, and 6/10 is the same as 60 hundredths. Then I just need to go 7 little tick marks over, and here is 67 hundredths. 8 hundredths. Well, 1/10 is 10 hundredths. So 8 hundredths is just 2 little marks before that, 8 hundredths. And then finally 5/10 in the very middle. Now we can see that 67 hundredths is the greatest and 8 hundredths is the smallest of all these numbers. Let's try placing these decimals on the number line. 9/10. Well, that's the same as 90 hundredths, so that goes right there. 13 hundredths. I could count over 13 of these little tiny hundredths marks, but it's easier to jump to 10 and then go 3 more. There it is, 13 hundredths. 4/10 is 40 hundredths. And 75 hundredths, let's start at 70, and then 5 more puts me at that medium-sized line there, 75 hundredths. We can see that 9/10 is the greatest, and 13 hundredths is the smallest of all these numbers. Another good strategy for comparing decimals is to stack them on top of each other. Be sure to line up the decimals. That's important. Now compare each place value. They both have a 0 in the ones place, which is the place right before the decimal. So that doesn't tell us which number is bigger. So far, they're even. The first number has a 6 in the tenths place, and the second number has a 0. This tells us that the first number is greater. I know there's an 8 in the second number and that 8 is greater than 6, but the 8 is in the hundredths place. And 8 hundredths, that's not even worth 1/10. Remember, 10 hundredths equals 1/10. The other number has 6 tenths. Our second number doesn't even have a single tenth. So the first number is definitely the greater number. Let's use the stacking strategy to compare more decimals. Let's write the first number and put the second number below it. Oops, the decimals aren't lined up. Let's try that again. Okay, now they're lined up. Now we can compare. The first number has nothing in the tens place. We can imagine a 0 there. The second number has a 1 in the tens place, and this tells us that it's the bigger number. It doesn't even really matter what the rest of the digits are. The tens place tells us that the second number is greater. Let's use the stacking strategy again. First number, line up the decimals, second number. Now compare each place value. They both have a 2 in the ones place, so that doesn't really help. Let's check out the tenths place, which comes right after the decimal. They both have a 4 in the tenths place. All right, let's look at the hundredths place. We can fill in a 0 in the hundredths place of the first number. Remember, 4/10 equals 40 hundredths, so that's the same thing. The second number is greater because it has a 1 in the hundredths place. It has an extra hundredth. Let's try 13 and 6/10 compared to 13 and 60/100. Stack them, remembering to keep the decimals lined up. Compare each place. They both have a 1 in the tens place. They both have a 3 in the ones place. They both have a 6 in the tenths place. We can fill in a 0 here because remember, 6/10, that's 60/100. And they both have a 0 in the hundredths place. These numbers are equal. This is when we would use an equal sign. Remember, we can use greater than, less than, and equal signs to compare decimals. Try stacking the numbers on top of each other with the decimals lined up. Then compare each digit, one place at a time. This video was created by La Fontaine of Knowledge. Click the link in the description for lesson materials that go along with the video. And subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.